Good day, Prof. We are from Group 1 and thank you for your time. Our research title is The Relationship Between Workplace Flexibility and Workload Perception Among Employees in Organization. Let me start to present our research.
Hi everyone, my name is Qing Yi. So for today, I'm going to explain the problem statements of our topics, which actually in 21st century, a lot of workers have started to prefer a flexible work arrangement because they wanted to have a better balance between their work and also family members. Actually, this flexibility are quite good because they allow them to manage a better time based on their own needs between their work and also family, which it could help them to reduce their stress and also increase job satisfaction. But at the same time, flexibility does not mean that it will always bring positive results toward employee, but sometimes it will come out with negative results, which when it is poor management on the company. For example, when there is an expectation are unclear from the manager, it will lead employee feel more stressed and thinks their workload is more heavier. Besides that, problem like limited supports from manager and also senior executive could lead to flexible work arrangement, increase the pressure and also workloads of employee. Moreover, the company who have a weak digital system or an unsupportive culture will also lead employee face constant online pressure or monitoring, which it will make them feel even more overload. So this study actually is important because flexibility doesn't mean that it will always reduce employee workloads. Many of employees are still feel stressed because of unclear rules, lack of support, and also weak digital system. Therefore, our research is aimed to identify the relationship between workplace flexibility and also workload perception.
Today, Prof. My name is Lian Shen. I will present our research objective and variable definition. First, our research objective has three. The first objective is to analyze the level of workplace flexibility among employees in an organization. Second objective is to analyze the workload perception among employees in an organization. And the third is to analyze the relationship between workplace flexibility and workload perception among employees in an organization. Next, we have three research questions to determine the direction of research. First is, what is the level of workplace flexibility among employees in an organization? Second is, what is the workload perception among employees in an organization? And the third is there any relationship between workplace flexibility and workload perception among employees in an organization? Let's move on to variable definition. First, we need to understand the independent variable, which is workplace flexibility. The conceptual definition of workplace flexibility is defined as employee ability to make decisions about their time, task, location, and how long they perform their job. Moreover, workplace flexibility is also defined as providing a flexible work schedule to employees in order to better balance their work and personal life. Furthermore, workplace flexibility is the ability for employees to control when, where, and how long they work, and is considered an important job benefit. Next is operational definition of workplace flexibility. In this study, workplace flexibility is operationalized through two dimensions, which is type of workplace flexibility opportunity available and employee perceived access to this opportunity. This dimension will measure on a 5-point Likert scale, strongly agree to strongly disagree. Next is dependent variable, which is workload perception. The conceptual definition of workload perception is take into account individual factor and interrelation with environmental aspect and workplace condition. Additionally, workload perception refers to the mental, physical, and emotional effort an individual believes is necessary to finish various tasks. Furthermore, workload perception also defined as an individual subjective feeling and is considered an important factor that influences individual health and job performance. It is related to how an individual perceives the relationship between the effort required to perform a task and personal resource. Next is operational definition of workload perception. Employee workload perception will measure using a 15-item questionnaire with 5-point Likert scale. The question focuses on aspects that influence employee workload perception, such as compare with peer, alignment with their expertise, personal trait, duty within the organization, and job satisfaction. Workload perception was classified as low, normal, or high based on how employee actual workload compared to their expectation and those of peer earning similar, lower, or higher wage. The social influence hypothesis and comparative process theory serve as a framework for measurement approach. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Next, my name is Nur Farhana Najwa binti Mahathir and I will explain the literature review for our research. For the first part, this is our dependent variable, which is workload perception. It refers to how employees feel about the amount of work they need to complete within a certain period. When the workload feels too heavy, employees may experience stress, pressure, and reduced performance. This variable is supported by the job demands resources theory and the job demands control theory, which explain that workload becomes stressful when employees lack control or resources to handle the demand. All the related articles also use these same theories, which showing that employees' workload perception is strongly influenced by their level of autonomy and support at work. The next part is our independent variable, which is workplace flexibility. This refers to the amount of freedom employees have in deciding how, when, and where they complete their work. Flexibility helps employees organize their tasks more comfortably and balance work with personal responsibility. This variable is supported by boundary theory and border theory, which explain how employees manage their work and personal role when flexibility is available. All the related articles also use this theory to support this variable, with showing that flexibility improves employees' control and help them handle work demands more effectively. The final part shows the connection between our independent variable and dependent variable. Flexibility allows employees to adjust their schedule, location, and work method, making their workload feel lighter and more manageable. This relationship is also supported by the job demand resources theory, where flexibility acts as a resources that reduce strain and improve productivity. The supporting articles use the same theory to explain that when employees have flexible arrangement, they experience less stress and perceive their workload more positively.
So for the next, I'm going to explain about the theoretical framework, which theoretical framework actually will show how and why these two variables are related. So in this research, it will link work flexibility as independence variable and also employee workload perception as the dependence variable. Based on this model, actually there has a clear connection between these two variables, which flexibility actually can help employee to reduce their workload, stress, and also employee perceived workloads. But when there is no proper management in company for these flexibility elements, it will lead to an opposite effect, which is will increase employee pressure and also workload perceptions. So in this research, it will related to job demand research theory, which according to this theory, job research such as flexibility can reduce employee stress, improve well-being, and also reduce workload perceptions. However, when there is not enough support or guidance that given to employee who have flexibility arrangement, it will be extra job demand, which it will turn increase stress instead. Hence, this framework actually provides a logical basis, and it has concluded a hypothesis which there is a significant relationship between work flexibility and also employee workload perceptions.
Next, I will explain the research design, population, and sampling for this study. This research uses a quantitative and cross-sectional research design, which means the data will be collected at one point in time through an online questionnaire. This design is adaptable because our study aims to ensure workplace flexible and workload perception using numbering data and to examine the relationship between the two variables. The population for this research consists of employees working in organization regardless of their department or job position. These employees are chosen because they directly experience workplace flexible practice and daily workload demands. For this sampling method, we will use non-probability convenience sampling. This method is appropriate because it allows us to easily reach employees who are available and willing to participate. We will also apply sample purpose criteria where all respondents must be currently employed. Lastly, the sample size for the study will be around more than 18 employees, which is suitable for conducting correlation analysis using SPSS. In summary, this research design allows us to collect variable data effectively and analyze the relationship between workplace flexibility and workload perception.
My name is Nurusna. For my part, I will explain about the research instrument that we use and how we collect the data for our research topic. First, we use secondary data to gather the information from online sources like website and journal. Next, we will conduct an online questionnaire and distribute the Google form to our target audience through WhatsApp, Telegram, and so on. After that, we will measure the question for our IV and DV by using the interval scale, which is 5-point Likert scale that content of this strongly disagree until strongly agree. It is easy because it can allow for degree measurement and can compute the mean and correlation for data analysis. Next, it is an example question for our IV, workplace flexibility, and our DV, workload perception. The participant may choose the answer whether strongly disagree until strongly agree based on the question given. And the most important thing, when we give and distribute the Google form to the participant, we must keep the information secretly.
My name is Elisha Izzati Aizat. I will explain how the collected data will be analyzed for our research. First, for the demographic data such as gender, age, job position, and working experience, we will analyze them using frequency and percentage. Frequency show how many respondents falls into each category, while percentage show the proportion of respondents. This helps us describe the background of the participant clearly. Next, for the descriptive analysis, we will analyze the mean score for both of our variables. For objective 1, we will calculate the mean score for workplace flexibility, which is our independent variable. For objective 2, we will calculate the mean score for our workload perception, which is our dependent variable. Since both variables use Likert scale item, the data is treated as interval data. This allows us to calculate the mean and standard deviation to determine the level of each variable. For Objective 3, we will conduct inferential analysis using Pearson correlation. This test is used to examine the relationship between workplace flexibility and workload perception. SPSS will generate the correlation coefficient, also known as R, and the significance value or p-value, which will tell us whether the relationship is significant. Finally, all analysis will be conducting using SPSS version 29 as it provides accurate and reliable statistical outputs for our research. That explains how our data will be analyzed.